Welcome, everybody, to the Giani kitchen one more time. All right, so like as we draw closer to the holidays, when everybody has a little bit more time to cook, what I'm going to do today, we're going to do together lamb cooked in white wine with mushrooms, porcini mushrooms, and chanterelle mushrooms. And I'm going to talk about everything, how it's done. But it's going to be great. And it's actually like an Italian dish that's called agnello alla vino bianco. And it's just, let's go for it. So what I'm going to do, I got, again, my deep pan right here. And I'm going to actually take, again, my olive oil, which I'm going to show you what I do with it to infuse it. I'm going to take one good scoop, all right, and I'm going to stick it right in there, okay? And for the purpose of the video, I actually cut my pork belly fat already, which is like a pancetta, basically, in thick pieces, all right? Now, next to that, I am going to put some walnut, very seasonal, right in the pan, okay? I got some coarse cut rosemary, and that's going to go right in there too. Rosemary and pork belly fat, come on, that's like a beautiful combo right there, okay? I've got my bone marrow, and I'm going to take right out of the fridge, I got it, one scoop, and I'm going to go right in there because it's extremely nutritious for you, and it gives a lot of flavor. So next to that, I'm going to take some fennel seeds, put them right in there. I'm going to do some garlic, mix them in, not too much, a good pinch of garlic. I'm going to take 3 cloves of actually shallots, put them right in there right away. And I got everything turned into a high heat. I got my rake spoon, which I scrape, and I start working it. So I'm basically sweating the pork belly fat, the pancetta, with everything. All right? Just like that. On the meantime, that this is going, I'm going to switch it to another fire, another top. And in this pan, I'm going to add 1 spoon of olive oil that's infused with garlic and herbs of Provence or Italian seasoning. And in there, what I'm going to do, I got this beautiful lamb loin chops, basically. They are cut about 1 inch, a little bit, maybe 1.25 inches thick. And I'm going to actually sear them right into that olive oil while the rest of it is gone. At the same time that this is going, I have some actually wild boar sausage from Italy, and I cut in small slices, and I'm going to put them right in there. With it, I'm going to put some salt. And the reason why I'm putting salt on one side, it's because I'm actually going to flip the sides, and I don't like to over salt them. Next to that, I'm going to do black pepper all over it. And I'm going to do, at the same time, some garlic. So while this is going, and it's going to get seared up pretty fast, actually, what we're going to do, we're going to discuss about different things here. So this is a dish from the countryside, and it's cooked with fettuccine. You can use different kind of pasta as well. But in Italy, pasta can be also a side dish. So I'm going to add to this whole group of food that I'm doing some little green peas that I'm going to mix with the pasta. And it's just like that time of the year that you mix a little bit more vegetables with your pasta to make it a little bit more nutritious. And then next to that, at the same time that I'm searing those pork loins chops, I'm going to put some coarse parsley on it. I'm also going to add parsley to what I'm already having to cook on the other top. And you can mix it a little bit, just like that. All right. And that's just to gain time. At the same time that this is going, and just because it's seasonal, I have shaved off some green zucchini and yellow zucchini fine with a peeler. And what I'm going to do to it, I'm going to add them right into that. Just like that. And that's just to add a little more to the pasta. And then while we're doing that, I mean, you can see that the pancetta and everything is just like absorbing. I mean, I can already smell it. It's like amazing. And it's like a miniature stew, basically. So while this is searing, all right, let's flip them over. You don't want to overcook them. All right, and they're getting done pretty fast. You don't want to overcook your lamb as well. So while this is going on, okay, what I'm going to do, I got some bella mushroom and I got basically 2 handfuls of that stuff. I'm going to take 1 handful and put it right in there. Now, the other handful that's left over, I'm going to stick it right with the pancetta. Just like that. All right. And then here we go with this beautiful, beautiful flavors all mixed up again, one more time. Now, I'm surveying a little bit my lamb right there. And I don't want to cover that. I want that water from the lamb to actually come out a little bit. So I just put those mushrooms and they got to sweat. Now, the thing about mushrooms is that I don't really slice them. People can slice them if you want. I just like break them up by hand, and I just love every part of the mushroom. Now, next to that, basically, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add to that dish what we call porcini mushroom and also chanterelle. So you can buy the porcini mushroom all dried up, and what you have to do, you actually have to boil some water, put them in a little jar like that, and just like soak them sometime for 20 minutes. It all depends. Just let them soak up. And for this dish, I also take some chanterelle mushroom who are completely dried up. And usually they come in the bag that's sealed. If they don't come in the bag that's sealed, then you can just put them in a Ziploc bag, whatever you got left over. And that's just great. So like now, what I'm going to do is that, now that they are ready, basically, I take my dish, and some people strain the whole water. If it looks like it's dirty, then by all means, you can strain all the water. But me, I just love to put the whole thing in there, and this is going to give a lot of flavor to that dish. So this is going to go right here. And in the meantime, I'm going to put my fettuccine on because it's that time. It's not going to take long to cook. All right. Okay, so let's look. You see? So basically, they are sealed. They're sealed, let's say, sealing the flavors inside. And That's basically what you want. So while this is going, all right, I'm gonna bring back the dish right on the stove, and I'm going to add everything together, just like that. Can we call it a little stew? Not so much. It's basically, we are going to include and combine all of those flavors together. All right. And like I mentioned before, previously, I love to scrape. Again, it takes a little bit of water. Then I love to scrape. I was always told that in the restaurant, scrape the bottom and add all these beautiful flavors to the previous dish, just like that. So like now that we got the lamb and we got everything combined together, I'm gonna just stir it up a little bit. So like now, you basically have that lamb drenched into the olive oil, and then you've got all of the parsley, the walnut, tons of shallots. Okay, what I'm going to do to that, I'm going to take one small can or two handfuls, basically two handfuls of green peas, and I'm going to add that right to it. The flavors that are going to come out of it are basically magical. It's just doing its own thing between the green peas and everything else. So, and that's not really going to take long, especially with the rosemary and stuff like that. It's like you just mix it all in. And again, this was served by my parents, you know, and was served also by my grandmother, basically. And what we're going to do, we're going to cover it, and we're going to show you something a little bit different than that. So at the same time that this is actually going, I'm going to take some white wine and I'm going to pour it right there. Why do I put it like at the beginning? Because I want the flavors. I don't want everything to be completely evaporated. I want a little bit of that flavor of the wine. So we're going to do something a little bit different right now. I'm going to show you basically another thing that you can do when it comes to serving like a little bit of a different salad when everybody is hungry for something a little bit different during the holidays. So what I've got going on right here is that I did slice, like before, some zucchini pretty thin with a peeler. I got some yellow zucchini and I got some green zucchini. And actually, I did drench them into a lemon, basically drenching right on top of it and bath basically for a solid 30 minutes. So this is for those that don't want like a pasta dish on the side, or they want like a little salad that's a little bit different for that time of the year. So basically, what am I going to do is that I'm going to show you how to make a white balsamic vinaigrette from scratch. Very simple. You can use the same thing. Basically, I got some infused oil. I match 50% balsamic vinegar to 50% olive oil. So now that this is done, all right, I take my balsamic vinegar, white balsamic vinegar, and it goes right in there. Just like that. Okay. Now, I got some finely coarse shallots. It's going to go right in there. I'm going to do one good teaspoon of Dijon mustard. It's going to go right in there. And then at the same time that I got that, I got some rosemary, finely chopped, and it's going to go right in there also. I'm going to do some salt. I'm going to do some pepper, good pinch or two. And what I'm going to do to that is that I'm going to take quite a bunch of raspberries and I'm going to add to it, just like that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a spoon and I'm going to squash them, all those raspberries together, with the shallots, the balsamic vinegar, the mustard. All right, with that, I'm going to do some finely chopped parsley, 2 good pinch of it. Okay, mix it all in generously. And I'm just going to stir it up while this is cooking. Check on the fettuccine. All right, that's going to be done pretty soon. All right, now, while this is done, you stir it all up, just like that. And you end up with a beautiful pureed vinaigrette of raspberries. Now, if you just test it out right now, it's kind of like pungent. It's got the sharpness to it. But if you just let it sit for a good 10-15 minutes, you have the shallots that do a magic in there with its own sugar, basically. And it just like balance between sugar and acidity. So I don't want to taste it out. So good. It's actually ready to go now. But if you let it sit for a solid 15-20 minutes, it just like it's magic. And basically what I do, I just like pour it right on it, and that's that. So it should actually look beautiful. I mean, it looks phenomenal. It's got beautiful colors to it, and it's just seasonal. Those are kind of dishes that you actually have a tendency to eat more in the fall and winter. So next to that, I'm going to do some finely chopped little tomatoes, baby tomatoes, right with my salad. And it all depends. I mean, you make like a big bowl of it. It all depends how many people you have. I mean, I have a lot of guests that love my cooking, so they eat a lot. So I have always a tendency to make a little bit more. And then we're going to revisit that a little bit later. So put this there. All right, let's check out that dish. Oh my gosh. Oh, I mean, that's just amazing. Now you got the green peas mixed with the mushrooms and the porcini mushrooms and the chanterelle mushrooms. I have like a handful of porcini mushroom. It's just like so good. It puts so much flavor with the white wine. It's just amazing. And the wild boar, the walnuts. You can't duplicate that stuff unless you just do it yourself. And then what we're gonna do right now is that, let me see. I'm gonna get my little salad ready. So what I would do is that a beautiful little salad per person, just like that. And a little bit more. Just like that. And it's just like people appreciate that home kind of cooking at that time of the year. It's just, the holidays, and people are a little bit more in the mood of doing stuff like that. And let me check on my pasta. Oh yeah. That's just beautiful. And then what I'm going to do basically is that let's just stir that thing up a little bit more. Oh, Look at that. I mean, just it is with the mushrooms. This is one Italian country dish that resonate with people every time you make it. I mean, look at this. It's just, I mean, between the porcini mushrooms, and it's very important to let the porcini mushrooms soak really well before you actually use them. You actually have, because they become dehydrated. So when you add the water to it, you actually are rehydrating again those mushrooms, and it's pretty much ready to do. You just don't want to overcook the lamb. And for this dish, what I like to do, basically, just like that. All right. I got my pasta cooked al dente. All right. And what we're going to do, we're going to basically take some beautiful lamb. Just like that. And then at the same time that we got the lamb, we're going to take a generous spoonful of green peas, put it right on top with the mushrooms. All right. And we're going to take some juice, and that juice is absolutely looking marvelous. I mean, this is what we're looking at. It's got so much flavor. It's got the pancetta in there. It's got three kinds of mushrooms. It's got the chanterelle, porcini, and bella mushrooms. And you have the bull sausage, and you just like pour everything right on top of the pasta, just like that. Of course, it's up to you to choose whatever kind of pasta that you want to have. All right. And this is an alternate dish basically for you or your guest. And if you don't want to actually eat the pasta, you can just do the meat, and then you take a beautiful salad made out of zucchinis like that. And this thing has been sitting. You can let it sit a little bit more, but just by tasting it before, it tasted pretty good. And you take this beautiful raspberry balsamic vinaigrette with the parsley and the shallots in there, salt and pepper, and you just pour it generously right over it. And this is my little holiday kind of dish. It's lamb with pasta, with bacon, and it's got the mushrooms in there. It's got the white wine, and it's got some basically some really beautiful zucchini salad that goes with it. I hope that you enjoy this holiday dish, and please subscribe if you love whatever we're doing. And I will put my recipes on each previous dishes on YouTube. And I wish you a good week until we see you again in the kitchen. Have a lovely week and have a great time with families and friends. And be happy, be healthy, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.